The world is not ruled by money, power, or technology. The true force is human emotion, where hundreds of thousands of hearts beat as one, where millions of minds are captured by a single thought. An egregor is born, a field that lives a life of its own. But it's important to understand, these fields don't arise by chance, they are created, and created very easily. It takes just a spark, a news story, a headline, a rumor, an image, or a short clip on social media. We think it's just information, but in truth, it's a hook for the attention, for the what happens next. People start discussing it. Some get outraged, others argue, some share it, some defend, others attack. But the result is always the same. The attention of millions is focused on one point. Emotions amplify each other, build like a wave. And soon, the egregor is born. It feeds on this attention. Those who launched the program know exactly what buttons to push. They know the word danger triggers anxiety. They know the word threat unites the crowd in fear. They know the word injustice ignites hatred. They just send the signal, and people spread the flame themselves. The most frightening part? We believe we participate voluntarily. We're sure. This is my stance. This is my anger. This is my opinion. But if you look deeper, it's just a part of the game, a scripted scenario. We're like actors who don't even realize we've stepped onto a stage where every word and gesture was written long ago. At that moment, we stop being ourselves and become batteries. We give away energy. Without even noticing, it doesn't change our lives. It feeds a field that brings us no happiness, no freedom, no peace. Today, we live inside a vast burning field. It's the egregor of conflict. It pulls people in, forces them to take sides, to argue, blame, and hate. But look closer. This field has no face, no single enemy, no true culprit. It doesn't feed on facts, but on emotion. On our anger, our arguments at the kitchen table, our posts online saying these ones are worse than those. All of it becomes fuel. Notice how easy it is to get sucked in. Just turn on the news or scroll your feed, and tension is born inside. You feel injustice, anger, exhaustion. Even if the events are far from you, the pain still arises. Why? Because the field connects to anyone who gives even a moment of attention. This egregor doesn't need weapons. Its power lies in the emotions of millions. It grows from tears, from rage, from conflict, from the feeling of us versus them. It's burning hot because millions of hearts are burning with hatred and fear. And if we're honest, that's its goal. To keep us in constant tension so we keep feeding it with our attention. Not long ago, a video of a woman spread across social media. She was just walking down the street, recording herself on her phone, complaining about prices. No currency, no country mentioned, just a personal moment. But a fragment was cut out, edited, and shown on TV. In a completely different country. They claimed, look, people are complaining about prices here. It was a lie. But why do they do this? Why lie? Because they need our energy. They don't care about the truth. They care that millions get angry, comment, argue, to heat the field, to power the egregor. And those who appear to lead the conflict, two supposedly opposing sides, meet peacefully on neutral ground. They know what's coming. They know the script. Their task is simple, to agree on how to keep draining energy from the people. We must finally open our eyes and realize there is no truth in the news. It will always be distorted, twisted, edited to provoke a reaction. Because truth is only found within. We used to be batteries. Now we are entire power stations. They drain everything from us, attention, emotion, strength. But only we choose to give it away or keep it for ourselves. The egregor of conflict, division, and hate only lives when we feed it. Every angry comment, every forwarded story, every burst of rage is a cable leaking energy. People often say, I just told the truth. I was outraged. It's important. But at that moment, you became a source of energy for someone else's game. Not for yourself, not for your family. But what about the system that deliberately fuels your anger? How do you stop feeding it? First, Stop endlessly scrolling through the news. Yes, it's not easy. Yes, it feels like if you're not keeping up, you'll fall behind. But that's the trap. The important truth will reach you anyway. All the informational noise, you can let it go. Second, stop discussing the negative. Behind every conversation about prices, politics, or who's to blame, there's a hook. That hook steals your energy, leaving you with a feeling of exhaustion and powerlessness. Third, shift your focus. The more we feed the field of anger, the stronger it becomes. But if even a part of humanity starts investing attention into creation, into family, into art, into purpose, into love, the egregor begins to weaken. Yes, it sounds too simple, but simplicity is often what we fear most. We're used to complicated schemes, clever explanations, but it all comes down to one thing: choice. Where you look, your energy flows. And if we want to stop this overheated egregor that's engulfed the world, we need one thing: stop feeding it. Cut the cords. Don't give it your anger. Don't give it your fear. Don't give it your attention. Because only then does it lose power. Pause for a minute and look around. Why are we constantly given a reason to argue? Why are we taught to pick sides, leave angry comments under provocative posts, prove who's right or wrong? It's no accident. It's a well-oiled mechanism. The system feeds on division. It pulls people apart piece by piece. It used to be borders between countries, languages, religions. Now it's even more subtle. Divisions within a single nation, a single people, even a single family. They separate us by accent, by clothing, by beliefs, even by what we post online. If you really think about it, it's absurd. Because if we take away speech, strip away all the labels and words, we're just humans. You, me, even the one the system paints today as your enemy. We're equally alive, equally feeling, equally seeking happiness. But the egregor of hatred feeds on this division. It grows when we argue, judge, comment. Every "they're like this" or "we're better" becomes fuel for the field that keeps people in fear and rage. The way out? Stop engaging. Stop leaving comments that pull you into the game. Stop arguing about who's more right. Instead, love the person, just for being alive, no matter their language, their skin color, or their past. Love yourself, and through that, see the value in everyone. It sounds too simple to be a weapon against the system, but it works. Because when we stop dividing into us and them, the system loses its primary tool, separation, and the egregor of hate weakens. Imagine, you're on a bus, and someone's speaking loudly in a language you don't understand. Most people react instantly: irritation, aversion, rejection. But if in that moment you catch yourself and say, "This is a human being, just like me. He has a family, he has worries, he has dreams," then the anger dissolves, and in its place comes peace. Or take social media. You write something in support of your side against theirs, and a storm of hate hits you back. You get dragged into endless arguments. Hours pass. Your energy drains. But if you stay silent, if you don't engage, you remain calm. You keep your energy for yourself, not for the egregor. And here's the amazing part. People feel it. When you stop playing the division game, they start treating you differently. Those who once saw you as an opponent can't pull you into conflict anymore. And it confuses the system. I saw one person stop arguing, and in a few months the whole atmosphere in their family changed. Where there were constant fights about the news, there came peace. Just because one person chose not to feed the burning egregor anymore. Remember, when you stop dividing people, you gain energy for your own life. Instead of pouring it into endless debates, you pour it into yourself, and the world answers with harmony. The system fears the simplest thing, that one day you will stop dividing, because at that moment it loses control. If you look at your neighbor and don't see the other, but see a human like yourself, the system collapses. Any ideology, any egregor, only survives through division. Imagine if tomorrow millions of people just stop arguing. Stop talking about the news through the lens of us versus them. The Egregor will lose its fuel. Its dark cloud will begin to dissolve, because your energy is no longer inside it. This is what the system fears most, that you'll stop wasting your fuel on someone else's game and then direct it inward, that you'll choose creation over destruction, that you'll start building your own life instead of tearing down another's. And here's the paradox. As soon as you take this step, the whole world reshapes itself. Headlines no longer stir anxiety. Other people's words no longer wound you. You become a source of power, not a battery for someone else's egregore. The system only functions because you agree to play. Stop playing, and it starts to lose power. Often the system reaches us not just through screens but through people close to us. Your neighbor or relative calls you and says, "Did you see the news? Did you hear what happened?" In that moment, you have a choice. Instead of diving into the discussion, try a gentle smile and reply, "I didn't watch, I didn't have time. Actually, I try to tune that stuff out." Believe me, that simple no already severs one of the cords. Somewhere you don't leave a comment. Somewhere you stay silent, somewhere you change the topic. And slowly you'll see, the world around you grows quieter, and inside there's a new feeling, that your energy stays with you, instead of leaking into someone else's war. These are small steps, but they lead to big change. Thank you for being here on this channel. I wish you awareness, strength, and deep inner peace. Protect your energy. See you in the next video.